Realtors, do you want to take an additional 1, 2, 3, 5, heck, 10 listings this month? Well, stay tuned. I'm going to give you the strategy. My name's Tierny Jordan. I'm a real estate broker associate. I've personally taken 20 listings in 30 days, and I'm going to give you a strategy to increase your listings. All right, let's dive into it, you guys. Jump full force right in. So here is a strategy that I used that helped me take additional listings. My presentation when I talked to people was around allowing them, the seller, the power to choose the commission and the pricing. So I let them know when I talked to them that I would allow them to select the price and I would allow them to select the commission. So you might say, oh my gosh, why would you allow them to do that? I'm the professional. This helped me get in front of more people. And what I did to guide them along that is I'm going to tell you. So I would go to the property knowing where it should be priced at, knowing the commission as well. So I would sit down. My initial conversation was showing them the value. Before we discuss price, before we discuss commission, let me show you what I'm going to do so that you know whether you want to work with me or not. So make sure you have your presentation together. Make sure you're going to show these sellers, demonstrate what you're going to do, what your value is, why they should hire you. So you start there. Then once you finish that, you say, okay, if the numbers make sense, right, and my commission makes sense, do all these things that I've presented to you sound like somebody that you'd want to hire? So before you go to that step to discuss pricing and commission, you want to establish whether or not they want to work with you. If you want help or details about what your presentation should look like, or if you want to pick my brain on that, feel free to schedule a time to get on my calendar. Okay, in the description below, sorry. So, all right, now here's the part that discusses pricing. So number one, you want to provide them with some comps. So you want to find, before you go, a comp that's clearly superior to theirs, okay? So let's say their house doesn't have a pool, this other house that's in their neighborhood does. That house with the pool is going to be more valuable if everything else is equal, right? So you want to have one comp that's similar but clearly superior. That's going to set the price point barrier on the high side, okay? Then you want to have a comp that's inferior, clearly, to theirs. Now, when you present this, I would say start with the comp that's inferior to theirs, and you'll show it to them and you'll say, okay, based on what you see about this house, you're going to show pictures, you're going to give a description of the property, you're going to tell how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, the square footage, everything, and you're going to ask them, how do you think this property compares to yours? Now, you're using sold comparables, okay, sold comps. So they're going to tell you, oh, mine is better. I have hardwood floors. That one doesn't. My kitchen is updated. That one doesn't. Okay, so we know this house sold for $700,000. So we know that your house is going to be higher than $700,000. Okay, so we start there and we start establishing boundaries around pricing. So we have our high boundary, we have our low boundary that we've established and we've agreed upon based on the comps we've showed them. Next, we're going to show them a comp that's very, very similar, like almost the same in terms of pricing, but close to what we think their house should be priced for. We show them that, we ask them how they think their house compares. So this is how we guide them into selecting the price, the list price of their property. Now let's talk commission. So remember, we said we're going to allow them to choose the price, of course, with our help. So I've took you through that exercise. The next step is to allow them to choose the commission. So how we start there is everything that we showed them, all the value that we started with, everything that we've demonstrated we're going to do to get their house sold and get them the most that the market will bear, that's going to cost them, you got to establish your price point. So we say 3%. It's going to cost you 3%. Now, You're going to determine the total commission because we have to figure out how much we're going to pay the other agent. Okay. So what I do is I have a printout of the comps that have sold in their community, also the active comps. And I look at and I circle and highlight and I show them, this is the buyer agent commission. So this is what they are paying on average in your area. This is what they've paid. So all the ones that have sold, this is the average that they've paid. So we're going to add that to the 3% or whatever you establish is what you want to make on the deal, right? So we're going to establish our price and then we're going to establish what we're going to pay the other agent. And we're going to let them know like, hey, if everybody else is paying 3% and you say you want to only pay 2% to lower the commission, most likely the realtors aren't going to show your property. So I wouldn't advise that. I wouldn't advise to go under what the market is showing is the average commission for the area. All right, guys, I hope this helps. I hope you utilize this to take more listings. It helped me. Like I said, if you want to pick my brain, if you want to ask me some questions, feel free to schedule some time. In the description is a link to my calendar.